TLO, what's poppin'? We are on Twitch. We're not live, but you can leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notification bells. Let's continue to grow the family from Chicago to the UK and all around the world. Twitch.com is where you can't catch a live stream. Username's at the bottom of the screen. And we also got Patreon, Monday through Sunday. UK Premier League highlights, UK TV shows, and UK movies, man. Links to everything, including all my other socials, are in the description below. This is from Weird History Food. American foods that are banned in other countries? Like what? You know what I'm saying? Like what?
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. No copyright infringement intended. All rights belong to their respective owners.
All right. Educate me. Let's see if I'm shocked. Press play, of course.
Most Americans want to believe that the United States is the gold standard of clean food. But
Nah, not clean. No, I didn't say that. Nah, we're not taking it that far.
that belief may not hold up to scrutiny.
Was that a McRib? Wait. Those are only available for a limited time, and we love those.
Unsanitary practices in mass production to the addition of dangerous chemicals, countries have good reason to give the side eye to imported foods claiming to be USDA approved. That's right. This week we're talking about American foods that have been banned by other countries.
Okay.
But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel.
They better not say UK one time in here. Oh, this food's banned in Britain. You know what the title gonna be. American foods that are banned in Britain and other countries.
Then leave a comment and tell us what other world food facts you would like to know more about. Now let's see how wrong the rest of the world really is.
Skittles. Skittles? What's wrong with Skittles?
Since the dawn of Skittles,
That was crazy, that image. Okay.
there have been rumors about the dangers of eating them. Every one of us heard at least one classmate claim that the red ones make you sterile, and the yellow ones, they give you cancer. Turns out,
Never heard of that.
it might be worse than that. First of all, your classmate wasn't wrong. The dyes known as Yellow 5 and Yellow 6 have been linked to hives and hyperactivity in children.
Okay.
Sweden and Norway have banned the candies out of concern. The European Union will most likely be banning Skittles at the end of the year, having already swapped out some of the dye for more natural flavors.
This was 2 years ago. This came out
This is because of something called titanium dioxide, which can be found making the colors pop across the rainbow. Research linked titanium dioxide to damaged DNA, which can lead to cancer.
Skittles? Wait, does Skittles still have red dye and yellow 5? Wait a minute now. I got some Skittles right now in the cupboard. Ready for me. I'm not going to eat them, though.
While Europe may be ahead of the Skittles awareness curve, America is quickly catching up. In May of 2021, the Environmental Working Group asked the FDA to categorize titanium dioxide as toxic. And yes, before you ask, right now the FDA says it's okay to consume some of that chemical compound.
No, I don't want none of it.
You can
Why do you think Americans can't do anything in moderation? So what do you mean some?
taste the rainbow, but just in moderation. California is home to an ongoing lawsuit against Mars Inc., the parent company of Skittles. The lawsuit claims Skittles are not only toxic, but are unfit for human consumption. So maybe for now, play it safe. Just go have some Swedish fish instead.
Yeah, I'm good off Skittles. I don't eat them too often, but if it's like right there, I bet I'm going to do it.
Ever looked at a piece of crusty French baguette, be it in cartoon or in real life, but let's be honest, it was probably in the hands of Pepe Le Pew, and think, I can't make a sandwich with that. As great as we talk about the invention of sliced bread, a lot of European countries have actually banned much of what you'd find on America's wide grocer shelf.
Now, see, the thing about this is I've tried English bread and I've had American bread all my life. And English bread tastes better. It's a whole different, it doesn't even taste the same as American bread. So when I tasted it, like immediately I knew something was up. Like, why does our bread taste like this? Because it has a long-lasting shelf life. Y'all bread expires in 2-3 days if you don't eat the whole loaf. Ours, you got about 3 weeks. Don't freeze it. You freeze it, you got forever.
That's because we make a lot of our bread not just with grain, but with a variety snap packs worth of additives. Like azodicarbonamide, for example, which helps bleach flour and strengthen dough. Fun fact about azodicarbonamide, it's also used in a spectrum of industrial products, including yoga mats.
Yoga mats. So we eating yoga mats.
Downward dogs. The European Union is really against the idea of its citizens eating yoga mat material and has banned their use in food products.
You know what? I don't even feel bad about that. I know the UK is not involved in this, but like I don't. It is what it is.
Pork, the other white meat, is a staple of American meats, along with chicken, fish, and beef. From bacon to ham, hot dogs to pork chops, American meat eaters consume about 67 pounds of pig per person every year. Soo-wee, my heart is stopping. Don't get us wrong, other nations indulge in swine just as much, if not more, than Americans. So why doesn't the U.S. export scores of succulent bacon-bearing boars? Well, it turns out America adds a lot of chemicals during processing.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. During processing, like, we add stuff in it to make it last longer and XYZ.
Ractopamine in particular is used in many pig farms to raise porkier porkers. Ractopamine, which we put a dash of in a lot of foods, has been banned in 160 countries.
Like who?
Which all consider the drug unsafe for human consumption. This in turn has led to a prohibition of pork exports across the world.
And what has happened in the studies? What does that ractopamine do to humans?
The EU hasn't touched the stuff since outlawing ractopamine in 2009. China and Russia have been ractopamine-less since 2013. Maybe that's because ractopamine has the same effects as an intoxicant on humans and can cause tachycardia, headaches, and muscle spasms if consumed in large enough quantities. But
I knew it was something because I used to. I'm not a big pork eater now, but every time I eat it, like, I feel like I'm going blind. Not bacon though, but like, I'm talking about like pork chops or something crazy like that.
It is a small price to pay for a perfect piece of the pork. Hygiene in America often comes down to dousing stuff in a chlorine bath and calling it FDA approved, and chicken is no exception. Pathogen reduction treatments, or PRTs, refer to the use of different chemicals to destroy harmful microbes on raw meat. Somewhere along the line, American food regulators decided a quick chlorine shock was the best way to kill salmonella and other bacteria on uncooked poultry. Chlorine marinade. And look, it's not that the EU is against taking a...
See, that's why I be eating organic chicken or grass, I don't know, something.
Long gulp from the public pool now and then. In fact, the risks posed by chlorine consumption are relatively low. The bigger concern is that the chlorine baths are just an eye-burning band-aid on a larger problem. The tip of the beak, so to speak. They're worried that the PRTs are insufficient to deal with more than just the normal bacteria and don't get at a potential contamination from things like low-quality feed to unsanitary coops on farms. The EU called the chlorine rinse an easy fix, arguing no chemical rinse will ever remove all bacteria from meat heavily contaminated as a result of poor hygiene. That hurts extra.
Well, you know what? I'm going to eat chicken. Just give me like the Green Wise chicken. That's like organic grass-fed, I don't know. And it does taste different than regular, just over-the-counter chicken. Like, never mind.
to hear it
I'm
from
talking about over-the-counter chicken, like it's a antibiotic or something.
the French.
Mountain Dew. It used to be a lot of rumors that Mountain Dew reduce your sperm count.
Mountain Dew is the closest any soft drink has come to being fully weaponized. But did you know in Austria and Norway, the soda is outright banned? That's because Mountain Dew's signature Chernobyl radiant hue comes from tartrazine, also known as yellow 5. And if your ADHD hasn't kicked in yet, you'll remember that color and number from the Skittles section earlier. It's been linked to headaches,
Cancer,
hyperactivity, and the desire to be annoying to other people. Ironically, the qualities that make Mountain Dew a soda non gratis in other countries is exactly what the brand promotes: a frenetic, over-caffeinated lifestyle.
Yeah.
Do the Dew. Baja Blast.
That's literally what it promotes.
Woohoo. And while you
I don't drink Mountain Dew though, so
might be able to find Mountain Dew in Europe, it's going to hit a little different. That's because Europe spent exactly 2 years in the 90s riding the Dew before discontinuing it. What is being sold as Mountain Dew in the EU has a recipe closer to the original carbonated beverage, as created by Tennessee beverage bottlers Barney and Ollie Hartman.
oh, I gotta get me some Mountain Dew from the United Kingdom then, so I can test it. I need to do my little taste test.
In the 1940s.
Because I know Fanta from like Europe and over here, it's completely different. Don't even look the same.
The original Mountain Dew was meant as a whiskey mixer, with the name coming from the affectionate Scottish term for moonshine. It'll tickle your innards, is what the old ads used to read. No lies detected here.
Yahoo! Mountain Dew!
Little Debbie, what y'all been? I heard the Swiss roll was something.
Little Debbie has been providing Americans with comfort snack food since the 1960s.
Yeah, Little Debbie got a lot of our backs humongous. A lot of Americans' backs, they can dedicate them to Little Debbie. A lot of our backs look like hotels. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, can I get a room at back? You know what
With their variety of zebra cakes, Star Crunches, Nutty
Used to be my favorite, Star Crunch.
Bars, fudge rounds, and cosmic brownies. But their big claim to fame, as anyone who has ever had their lunch packed by a parent can attest, is the Little Debbie Swiss rolls.
Oh, okay. Because they showed the oatmeal one, and I was like, yeah, no, don't do that. Okay, what's up with this stuff?
Mixture of rich chocolate cake and butter-creamy filling. Over 900 million cartons of Little Debbie products are shipped each year, but none of those cartons go anywhere near Austria or Norway. Blame those rascally additives, yellow 5 and red 40.
Into what?
Swiss rolls contain 32 milligrams of dye per product, and in those quantities, they've been shown to have an adverse effect on children. And we're not just talking about causing hyperactivity, although
She put the hoe.
one study found that cutting all artificial food coloring from diets may be 1/2 as effective as prescribing kids Ritalin. And while we can't prove there's a direct
So
connection
it's just hyperactivity.
between artificial food coloring and cancer, they do cause damage to white blood cells, causing them to mutate after only 3 hours. Exposure to these dyes could cause tumor cells to multiply way more rapidly. For that reason, researchers say a high chronic intake of food colorings throughout the entire life is not advisable. If only
Yeah. I heard recently if you have cancer, you should stop eating sugars too, because it feeds it.
they weren't so delicious. Surprisingly, you can buy Little Debbie's Swiss rolls in the EU, but
These mugs good though. As an adult, I found out how good these was. As a kid, I didn't eat chocolate. I didn't like chocolate.
they come with warning labels advising parents of the potential dangers to kids. You know, like cigarettes.
Special K. Oh, probably some red folic acid. Special K, good.
When you hear the words banned breakfast cereal, you're probably imagining one of the countless kid-focused brands of sugary morsels, like the oh-so-delicious Cookie Crisp. So you might be surprised to learn that it's actually Special K, the most boring cereal on all of the earth.
It's not bad though. Okay. What is it?
That has been banned in Denmark and discouraged in the EU. How does the healthiest box of flakes on the shelf get banned? Well, stuff like Reese's Puffs and Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Hold on, before I look dumb. So the UK hasn't been a part of the EU for the last 4 years. So is all of this stuff back in the UK, or no?
Continue to enjoy free passage. Ironically, because of its supposed health benefits. In the UK,
17 grams of total carbohydrates, no fiber, 4 grams of protein. That's crazy for this to be a.
Special K has been put on blast by the advertising standard benefits. In the UK, Special K has been put on.
That's all I needed. There's the title. American foods that are banned in the UK and other countries. With the Special K in the background, and then me right here in the corner. Yeah. But but real talk, like if it's banned in the EU, it's probably still banned in the UK, even though y'all not a part of it.
On blast by the Advertising Standards Authority for exaggerating how much folic acid they pack into portions. Though it's still legal to buy in Europe, Denmark has completely banned Special K since 2004 for all its fortified vitamins and minerals. Regulators argue that Kellogg's cereal's unnaturally high levels of everything from vitamin A to zinc actually qualify Special K as a genetically modified organism, or GMO. More specifically, Special K is swole with the same artificial compounds that studies have shown to potentially pose health risks, specifically to children and pregnant women. In conclusion, you may want to stick with crunch berries.
I don't eat them too much. Like when I was like, I had a stint with these though. It was fine. Like it was a great time. Where is steak banned?
Don't need to take a transcontinental flight to visit countries that have banned American foods. Just drive up to the Canadian border, flash your passport, and sign an affidavit saying you're not smuggling any steak tartare in your trunk. Today, consuming raw meat has fallen out of fashion in the US, much like other foods like veal and pate, which don't make you sick but might make you sad. But while baby cow and overstuffed...
Nah, eating no meat will make me sad. Pause. Oh my God. Pause.
Goose liver is illegal in parts of America now. Tartar is not. See, while veal and pate may be uncool, they are also served hot. Unlike tartar, which is chopped up cold meat, straight from the cow. Undercooked or raw foods can lead to an increase in food poisoning and parasitic infections, especially in beef and poultry. But considering how fancy pants steak tartare is, Titanic.
I'm not eating nothing raw. I don't care. Like, okay, steak, I'll get it like medium. You know what I'm saying? But that's about it. It still got some heat to it.
Food, one might say. You'd think countries might look the other way and let the luxury delicacy slide. And for a long time, they did. In Canada, meat has to reach an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit, the equivalent of a medium rare steak, in order to be considered safe to serve. But those rules aren't strictly enforced. That is, until recently.
Oh, that looked nasty.
2021, restaurant owners in New Brunswick selling steak tartare were all served cease and desist letters. Canadian public health officials had decided that amid the ongoing health crisis of COVID-19, the last thing their citizens needed was a side order of botulism.
Coca-Cola, I can see why this is banned. Literally, now that I only drink zero products, like Sprite, it says zero sugar on there. You can't see it, but I tried to drink a Coke like recently, spit it out. Oh my God, it was terrible. And you can clean stainless steel appliances and engine bays with this.
Is there anything more American than Coca-Cola? The fizz, the flavor, the former secret ingredient, cocaine. Coke is basically apple pie in beverage form. And it's not just Americans who are cuckoo for Coke. Invented by a pharmacist in 1886 Georgia, Coca-Cola quickly caught on overseas. It was the World War II GI's drink of choice. Pre-pandemic, Coca-Cola had 500 brands in over 200 countries, making it the best-selling soft drink and one of the most recognizable brands of all time. But there will always be exceptions, and unlike the other entries on the list, for once it has nothing to do with health concerns. Everybody knows that Coke is not good for you.
Right.
We just decided collectively that we don't care. No, the countries that have outlawed the brand have done so because of what it represents, a symbol of the encroachment of American capitalism. From 1962 to 2011, the U.S. banned sales of Coke to Burma as part of sanctions against the military junta that ruled the country until 2011. It resumed sales in the country in 2012. Today, Coca-Cola is only unavailable in 2 countries with long-term trade embargoes with the U.S. North Korea hasn't allowed Coke since 1950, and the bubbly beverage has been banned in Cuba since Fidel Castro ceased supplies in 1962. First the prequels, now
I go to Cuba and make a killing off Coca-Cola.
Coke. Is there anything that can't be ruined by the federalization of trade taxation? In a twist of irony and lime, Cuba was actually one of the first bottlers of the beverage outside of America. Today, Cuba Cola has replaced Coke as the country's soft drink of choice, though black
Cuba Cola, I bet you this is fire.
market sales abound. After all, it is the birthplace of the Cuba Libre, aka the rum and Coke.
I never knew that. It makes sense. So M&Ms and Skittles?
M&Ms, the delicious melt-in-your-mouth, not-in-your-hand snacks, were originally a collaboration between the Scion sons of the Mars and Hershey dynasties in 1941. Like Coca-Cola, M&Ms gained international fans during World War II, as American soldiers popularized the candy overseas as the chocolate that won't get your trigger finger all sticky. But you won't find the candy in Sweden, where it's banned due to a trademark conflict with a popular national candy that also features lowercase m's as its signature. When Mars
That's a personal problem.
introduced the candy to Sweden in 2009, a court ruled its marketing too similar to that of the Norwegian Marabous, which resemble Kit Kats. During
It's not even the same.
World War I, Marabou had moved its manufacturing to its Swedish neighbors, where it received a royal warrant of appointment by the King of Sweden. And here we thought the Swiss were the chocolate snobs. Should you want to check out what the fuss is all about, Marabou's is sold in IKEA stores here in the US. Well, at least it's good to know that M&Ms don't contain any harmful dyes or chlorine residue.
Yeah, that's good. Because I was about to say.
Right? That's a pretty important victory for hard-shelled chocolate. So what do you think?
Very interesting. Foreign foods that are banned in the U.S.? Okay.